evening, morning. I don't know where you're tuning in from. I hope you're all well. I'm Rebecca Bonington. I'm the CEO and co founder of TriCress. So, thanks very much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Last week we were talking about bouncing back, and this week we're talking about increasing the revenues in your business. And I'm going to just define that first of all, in that I talk about revenues rather than sales, so that people don't get hung up on sales jargon and they don't go around saying things like, oh, we need to fix my sales, we need more training on sales. Bringing revenues into your business goes much deeper than just selling, and you're going to see why in a bit. I'm assuming you're here watching this, whether you're watching it live or the recorded version, because your business isn't generating the revenues it needs to make or you want it to make. You might even be in a position where the lack of revenues in your business is causing you quite a lot of stress and anxiety, may even be causing you sleepless nights. I don't want that to be the case for you. I've been there and it's not nice, it's not pleasant. Wondering where the money's going to come from to pay the bills. So, this is, my heart goes out to you if you are in that position. And I'm going to give you 4 very practical ways to start getting those revenues flowing again. Okay, as usual, I've got some notes because I want to make sure that I cover all the ground that needs to be covered. And so here we go. Okay. So relax. This is time for you to just relax, focus on working on your business. Have a pen and a piece of paper handy so that you can jot down ideas, take notes, that kind of thing, because you might find some of this useful. Hopefully you will. And these are very practical steps. As you know by now, if you've watched anything that I've done, what I talk about is very practical things that you can implement straight away. So none of this is complicated. I heard a quote the other week that if you want to impress people, make it complicated. If you want to help people, make it simple. The stuff we talk about at TriCress is simple, and because we believe that's the quickest way to help more people. Okay. So some of you know me already. I've been a business coach for the past 11 years. I have a master's degree in coaching. Just to prove it. And I have coached people from startups to executives at global banks and everybody in between. The issues are the same, and the only difference is the number of zeros. So, just like you as an entrepreneur, business owner, founder, startup, your concern about revenues is the same as the concern about revenues in global banks. It's just the numbers are bigger. You all want customers, you all want loyal customers, you all want those revenues to be profitable and work for your business, and that is exactly the same for every size of business. So it's kind of nice to know you're not alone. That might not help at times, but bear in mind that every business experiences this, okay, and has to think about it. So I've seen some of my clients really improve the flow of revenues in and through their business. There was one client I helped in the manufacturing sector that, we had a conversation, and within a week they'd added £30,000 in sales to their bottom line. I remember helping another client, construction company. Again, we did some work. I think I was with them for about 3 months, and we added about £500,000 to their revenues as well. So getting focused on this is really crucial. So we taking revenues seriously is important, but I don't want you to worry about it. You almost have to relax in order to let the revenues flow. And I say that because what I don't want you to do is to make hasty decisions about just selling anything to anyone at any price, because that ends in disaster. You end up with the kind of business that is difficult. You end up with awkward clients who don't appreciate what you do, and it just doesn't turn out well. So taking your time and relaxing into this is the key to success, which sounds very counterintuitive if your back's against the wall and you need revenues to come through the door. But believe me, the time that you spend thinking about this and working your way through this will be time extremely well spent, because when the revenues do start flowing, and they will, then it's the right kind of revenue, it's the right kind of profitable revenue, and that's absolutely crucial to the long-term success of your business. Okay, so this Facebook Live is right for you if you're finding it hard to generate consistent revenues, if you're finding it hard to generate revenues that have the kind of profitability that you want, and also that you know that you're capable of generating more revenues in your business, that your business has got a lot more to give. And I don't need to tell you this either. That's my dog barking in the background. The way you generated revenues before COVID, before lockdown, wherever you are in the world, is probably not going to be the way you generate revenues in the future. And I speak from personal experience because I had to work out how I was going to generate revenues. I'd used this stuff and I'd got my business to a great place where I was consistently earning some really nice money each month, had great clients, and things were ticking over nicely. My revenue cycle was working beautifully. And then obviously COVID hit and I had to go back to the drawing board. And I went back to the drawing board using the stuff I'm about to teach you. My revenues are now coming back and they're now flowing. So it takes time, but I started implementing some of these things and ways of thinking straight away. Okay. So yeah, it's unusual. I actually practice what I preach in my own business. So the 4 ways I'm about to show you, by the way, the comments box is on. So if you have any questions, please just type them in and I'll answer them as I go along, hopefully. So anything that's coming up for you, just type in a question in the comments box, okay? The 4 ways to increase your revenues are only part of the story. And as some of you know, next spring I'm going to be inviting people to join my mastermind group. Those are the people who are really serious about getting to a £10 million or $10 million business. And as you know, if you've watched any of our stuff before, that actually you don't need 10 million in revenues to have a business worth 10 million, and it's about building the value into the business. And the 4 steps about to talk to you about now actually help build the value into your business. So they don't just help you build revenue, but they also help to build value. Okay. So let's look at the first way to increase your revenues. I'm going to ask you what the purpose of your business is. For what purpose does your business exist? Okay, that's not why it exists. It's for what purpose. It's what do you give your clients and customers or allow them to do? Your business doesn't exist just to make money. Making money is a byproduct of running a successful business. It's not the core function. I'm going to give you an example. So let's take a construction company for an example. Yeah, they have to make money in order to keep going. Definitely, every business does. But their core purpose is to create homes for people, offices for people. So it's to support people in their daily lives. And they actually talk about this, what I'm thinking of, talk about creating communities. So their core reason for existence is to create communities that thrive. If you don't understand the core purpose of your business, it's really hard to get your messaging right. And if you can't get the message right when you're selling, whether that's through online advertising, media, face-to-face, whatever it happens to be, nobody's going to buy what you do, or the right people aren't going to buy what you do, or they're not going to value it, okay? So that's so important. It sounds airy fairy, sounds a bit fluffy, but I can't stress that enough. It's really important to understand what you give your clients and customers or what you allow them to do. So at TriCrest, we make it happen for entrepreneurs. That's it. Very simple, very straightforward. That's what gets me out of bed in the morning. And then you've got to understand your vision. So it's all very well making revenues, getting money in through the door, but what's that leading to? Is that just money today to pay bills, or is that money that you're going to want to reinvest and grow, or is that money just to pay yourself? What is it? I'm a huge believer in having a crystal clear vision for your business. And when I talk about vision, I'm talking about like a 10-year time frame. This is the huge vision that gets you out of bed in the morning, that it gets you excited, it makes you a little bit scared. And at right this moment in time, you don't know how you're going to get there. And you might be saying, oh, Rebecca, come on, shut up, I need money now. But let me tell you that unless you get that vision clear, the money you make now isn't going to work for you. And money has to work for you. Money is a tool, even in business, well, especially in business. Money is a tool, it's a means to an end. So getting revenues in and not using them to grow the vision of your business or pursue that vision of your business is money that it's not going to be well spent at all. Okay, even if it's paying off people or paying yourself, you've got to have a clear vision of why you're doing this, for what purpose you're doing it, why you're doing it, what's the big vision. And again, believe me, having that, I was having a conversation this morning with somebody who was saying, "God, it's really hard to stay on track and do things that you know you're supposed to do." And I said to her, "Well, what's your big vision? What are you aiming for?" And she said, "I don't really know." And I said, "Well, yeah, it is hard in that case. It's really hard to make sacrifices. It's really hard to keep going when the going gets tough, unless you know what you're aiming for." So our big vision at TriCrest is to be the most successful business training, consulting, and coaching business on the planet. I have no idea how we're going to get there. That's a big, scary goal. And gets me excited, gets me out of bed in the morning, and it gets me through the tough times as well, because the bigger we grow, the more people we can help. And that's really exciting. Okay, so you've got to have your purpose, your vision, and I'm going to talk about values as well. And again, you're going, why are you telling us this, Rebecca? This is about increasing revenues. Well, your values are your business, are your principles, your guiding light, the way you make decisions. So if you've got values that are about being bold, direct, and impactful, which is what ours are at TriCrest, then you understand that the people, the kind of people you want to work with, must share or at least align or empathize with those values. If your business doesn't have a core set of values and you know what kind of customer and client's going to love you and adore you and buy everything from you, then you're going to get the wrong kind of customer, and they're not the profitable ones. I cannot tell you how many times I've spoken to clients and they've told me about customers or clients that they have that are a real pain, that they don't make money out of. And I've just asked them a few simple questions and said, look, does that client align with your values? Do they understand what you stand for? And they've said, well, no, not really. And that's why they don't turn out to be good clients, because they have to understand what you stand for. All right. So that's the bit I want you to take time over. If you haven't got that in place, I would urge you to get that in place. We have a great course on our platform called Culture as a Foundation for Growth. Okay, if you haven't got the purpose, vision, and values nailed in your business, go ahead and do the Culture as a Foundation for Growth course. You'll be really glad you did. Okay. The next thing is to decide whether your business is a product or service-led business. Okay. Are you selling, say, for example, digital products online and then adding a service to it? Are you a very service-focused company? And the way to tell the difference, again, let's keep this really, really simple, is if you're a service focused company, you know the names of your clients' pets and children, and you know where they go on holiday. Okay. If you are a product focused business, you probably don't know that information because you probably don't get that close to your customers. Okay. So let's take a digital products or a traditional products business. You know, you sell stuff online. Let's say you sell water bottles online. Okay, those revenues need to increase by going out to more people, more specifically who are interested in buying water bottles. The transaction needs to be straightforward, your messaging needs to be very clear, you have to describe what this water bottle is going to do for them, and then you have to make it easy for them to check out. Now, a service-based business, you've got to nurture people. It's usually a longer sales process, and you've got to spend time with them. This is usually a low value sell. The service is usually a high value sell in terms of how much you're charging. Okay, anybody in a service business right now, do not put your prices down. Okay, it's really hard to get them back up again, and it's very tempting to do that in order to buy back business, but don't be tempted to do that. You've got to value what you do. Okay, there is only one way when you start putting your prices down, and that's a race to the bottom. Okay, if you're a service-based business, the way you sell to people is very different to the way you sell a product. And in order to increase your revenues, get really clear on what your focus of attention is. Now, if you have a service-based business, it doesn't mean that you might not have products. You could well have additional products, add-ons. The same with a product-based business, you could well have services afterwards that add on. So we sell online courses, that's a product-like business, definitely. And I also work face-to-face with clients, which is very much a service-led business. So you can do both. That's what we've been transitioning from full service-led business to now product-based business with additional service. So have a think about that, because that affects everything that you do, the way you approach the market. If you're either one or the other, are you missing opportunities? So if you're product based, are you missing opportunities to increase revenues by adding services, and vice versa? Okay, have a think about that. That in itself could generate some revenues that you just weren't aware of. So really consider that carefully. Third point, is it easy to buy from you? Okay, how easy is it at the checkout? How easy is it to find out what you do? How easy is it when you have a conversation with somebody to really understand what you do? Okay, this took me a long time to work out, and so a bit of practice is needed. If you find yourself spending more than a minute trying to explain what you do, you need to simplify it, because whoever you're talking to will have switched off. Okay, and if you're selling online, make sure your message speaks to the symptom that your audience is experiencing. Don't tell them what you sell. They're not really interested in what you sell. They're interested in the symptom. They're interested in solving their immediate problem. Okay, so make it easy for people to understand what you do, make it easy for people to buy from you, and make that process a pleasant process as well. If anything is remotely complicated, people are just going to switch off. Now, the exceptions to that, of course, are highly technical industries where you may be talking to engineers, academics, people like that who want a long, complicated explanation. Most people don't, okay, I promise you. So if you're finding, you're going on for longer than a minute about what you do, shorten it, simplify it, okay? Excuse me. Finally, you will have existing customers, okay? You will have people who have bought from you already. If you're brand new to business, you won't, okay? But or you may have people who know you if you're brand new to business, or you may have people from a previous life or whatever. But if you've been running your business for any length of time, you will have people that have already bought from you. Go back to those customer databases. If you haven't got either a CRM system like HubSpot or Pipedrive, go ahead and get one. They're free. Record all your customer information on there and your customer interactions, and go back and see who's bought from you in the past and go back and talk to them. If you haven't got that and you're more of a products, particularly online products business, then you'll have a database, an email list, and you can go back and talk to them. All right. Remember to look after your existing customers because they're a great source of highly profitable revenues. They've bought from you in the past, and assuming they were happy with your product service, they will buy from you again. Okay, so that's 4 ways. What's the purpose, vision, and values in your business? Is your business a product or service focused business? Can you add products or services in order to increase revenues? Is it easy to buy from you? And how do people find you? You're explaining things succinctly enough. And what are you doing for your existing customers? Okay, those are the 4 ways. They're very straightforward. Pick one, work on it this week. Don't attempt to do all at once because you'll overwhelm yourself, but pick one. Pick the thing that you think, crikey, yeah, I've not done that for ages, or that's a really great idea, I should be doing. Pick that one that will spring to mind immediately. And as I say, take it a step at a time. Don't rush into this. It's much more important to have profitable revenues than just any old revenues. Finally, those serious business owners who are in this for the long term and are in this to build something significant. And significant to you is not significant to Joe Blogs down the road or Frank and Betty or whatever. Significant has a significance to you. If you're not running a lifestyle business, and by the way, there's nothing wrong with running a lifestyle business, they're great, they keep you in a really nice lifestyle. But if you really want to grow something substantial, then I would keep an eye out for what we're doing. We're running a series of masterclasses. They're going to be launching soon. And today I launched your Fix My Business free report. You'll start seeing that online on LinkedIn. I'm going to post it on Facebook as well. And that gives you a really succinct report into the 3 core areas of business. So strategy, revenues, people. And it'll help you identify the area of your business that isn't working well. Gives you a dead simple report, really easy to read. And then we provide you with some solutions as well. We've packaged up the solutions so that it's easy to buy, and we've given massive discounts on the solutions. So find out what needs fixing, look out in your inbox for the report that comes through, and then look out for some emails, and only open the email that's relevant to you. So if you've got a really low score on revenues, just open the revenues email. I've labeled them in the subject header so it's easy to see. And we've packaged up some of our courses specifically so you can tackle the area that needs fixing. So watch out for that in the next few days. Our masterclass is going to be on Fix My Micro Business, and I'm going to take you step by step through all of the processes that we talk about on a $10 million business. Obviously, we can't go into huge detail on the masterclass. We've only got a couple of hours. But what I will be doing is asking you to submit questions and things like that beforehand so I can tackle some real live issues. Okay, so unless there are any questions, that's me wrapped up for now. I hope you found that useful. Remember to sign up to our email list so you can keep ahead of the game in terms of the Facebook Lives we do. Next week, I'm going to be talking about managing remote teams, and that is a hot topic right now. So thanks so much for tuning in, and I shall see you next week. Thanks, folks. Bye.